Introducing Jarrett Benner.
Welcome to Jared Out Loud 2.0. How's everybody doing tonight?
Sleepy.
Well, if you haven't seen 1.0, there will be a link to it down below. And just like last time, I won't use anybody's real names in the stories that I tell if I know them in real life. They'll get replacement names. So last time I started out with the classic joke, why did the chicken cross the road? To get away from me. There's actually a backstory behind that joke. So one of the summers that I was in Belize, I stayed at a village for a weekend. And one evening, my sister-in-law and I, we go walk to pick up the chicken that we were going to have for dinner. So we go to this person's home in the village, and my sister-in-law buys this live chicken. So the live chicken is wrapped up in this brown sack bag, tied at the neck, so its neck is sticking out, and there's a string wrapped around the beak so it won't bite you. So my sister-in-law has me carry the live chicken back, so we're on our way back, and I'm petting the chicken on the head. It's gonna be okay, little chicken, everything's going to be all right. And we get back to her family's home in the village, and they ask me if I want to kill the chicken. And I'm like, all right, yeah. So I grab the chicken by the neck, and I'm shaking it, and it's making that sound, gobble, 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 gobble. And then just let it flap on the ground until it dies. Oh, that chicken tasted so good that night. Vegans, I apologize. So, last time I told a story about something that happened at a Golden Corral. But apparently I left out some details towards the end. So tonight I'm gonna give you all the details. But first, I gotta start from the beginning. So I'm one of those people that if I'm out in public and I have to fart, normally I will go to the restroom just to fart and then come back out like nothing ever happened. So I went to a Star Wars Celebration Orlando one weekend, and I'm with some guys that are like brothers to me, and one evening we go to eat dinner at a Golden Corral. So last time I called this person Logan, but tonight I'll call him Derick. So we're eating our food, and Derick asked me, "Hey Jared, do you think you could fart on the spot?" And I'm like, yeah, I guess I could if I really wanted to. And so Derick says, if you fart on the way out, I'll pay you $1. So we're on our way out, and the two guys go out first, and then it's my turn. So I stand in the entrance, I spread my two legs out like this, put one arm out like that, one arm out like that, and I let it rip. And it was so loud. And apparently the best part was, there was a family right behind me. Oh, but what I left out last time is even better than that. So apparently the little boy in the family was eye level with my butthole. Poor kid. I hope he didn't get pink eye. And to this day, that was the best $1 bill that Derick had ever spent. So, as I mentioned last time, I'm a huge fan of Chewbacca. And so, one day at Star Wars Celebration Orlando, I had a scheduled autograph signing with Peter Mayhew, the original Chewbacca actor. And then I also, immediately after that, was supposed to go to this heroin panel because there was supposed to be this huge special guest surprise person. So I get to the line for the autograph signing a half an hour early. And of course, there's a bunch of people ahead of me. So half an hour goes by, Peter Mayhew is still not there yet, and I'm thinking, okay, he's just a few minutes late, no worries. But at the same time that a half an hour had gone by, I had to use the restroom really, really bad, like number 2 bad. But I wasn't going to leave that line for anything because I'm that dedicated of a fan to Peter Mayhew. So another half an hour goes by. Peter Mayhew still hasn't shown up yet. So that's a half an hour that I've had to hold in taking the Browns to the Super Bowl. So another 15 minutes goes by, and Peter Mayhew finally shows up. So that's a whole 45 minutes that he's late, but it's all good, you know. So the line goes down, and by the time I get up to Peter Mayhew, you know, the panel that I was supposed to go to right afterwards was going to start in 5 minutes. So I get my autograph signed and, you know, talk to his son that was right next to him real quick. And then I book it. I run to where that panel was. And by the time I get there, the panel had already been starting for 15 minutes. And so I just had to sit in the back next to people I didn't know. And literally I got there like just in time for the huge special surprise guest. Like literally I sat down for like 2 minutes, and then they're like, ladies and gentlemen, Daisy Ridley, who played Rey in Star Wars. So then everybody stands up, you know, a standing ovation, making really loud noise. Literally the entire time that the applause and standing ovation was going on, my butthole let it rip. So literally just like, and not until we all sat down did it stop. The guy next to me was probably like, what the hell is wrong with this guy? And to this day, whenever I think of Daisy Ridley, I think of farting at her entrance. And I was only going to tell 3 stories, but then, you know, on my way over here, I was like, why not tell this 4th story? So, has anyone here ever done the 1-chip challenge? Oh, well, I have. Let me tell you all about it. So, if you don't know what the 1-chip challenge is, they do it like every year, and they change up like what spices are in it. But basically, it's just 1 chip, and you just have to try to eat the 1 chip. Tons of people do it. Not everybody succeeds. So, I've been eating spicy food my entire life. So like, for example, when I was in college, I went to perform at a conference in Canada. And the group I was with, we went to eat at an Indian restaurant one night. Nobody could eat their food. It was too spicy for them. They all gave it to me. I ended up eating everybody's food because they couldn't take the heat, you know? So flash forward to 2021, when I decided to do this 1-chip challenge. You know, I'd never done it before. This was my first time, and I'm like, oh, this should be a breeze. It's only 1 chip. So basically, yeah, you just eat this 1 chip. So I unwrap it. It's like in this, it comes in a box, and then you take it out of the box, and then the entire thing is wrapped in plastic. So I unwrap it, I eat the entire chip. That thing messed me up. Like, my eyes were profusely watering, my nose was profusely, like, running liquid snot. I had a headache, my throat was in pain, my chest was in pain, my stomach was in pain. I could barely breathe. And it got to the point where I called 911. I called the paramedics to come over, right? So I'm lying in my bed waiting for the paramedics. And it's these 2 female paramedics and a bunch of dudes. I was not prepared for how attractive the female paramedics were. Like, and they sent all the dudes away. They saw me, they're like, oh, we got this. So it's just me in this room with these 2 super attractive female paramedics. And I look disgusting. Like, I'm wearing nothing except for my shorts. All I have on are shorts, and I have like my fan blasting at me. I'm sweating bullets, and you know, there's one just checking my vitals, and this other one just having a deep conversation with me about not doing challenges. And in the end, they told me I didn't have to go to the hospital, so I just had to sleep it out. But bottom line was, later on, not only was I not prepared for how attractive those two paramedics were, but later on, my butthole was not prepared for that as well. So, ladies and gentlemen, Jared Out Loud 2.0.